This video is about John Carter, Warlord of Mars, and his romantic interest Dejah Thoris, a princess of Mars, both science fiction heroes. They're presented on Dynamite Entertainment comic book covers and related interior pages for the 14 issues of the John Carter Warlord of Mars series in chronological order from 2014 to 2015. For each issue, multiple covers and multiple interior pages are presented. As each individual issue is presented, information about that specific issue is provided. Before that, somewhat briefly, some significant origin and background information is provided. John Carter was created by Edgar Rice Burroughs, who also created his romantic interest, Dejah Thoris, plus many other characters, including Tarzan, Carson of Venus, and Moon Maid. Edgar Rice Burroughs was an American author who lived from 1875 to 1950. He is best known for his prolific output in the adventure, science fiction, and fantasy genres. John Carter and Dejah Thoris debuted in the story Under the Moons of Mars, serialized in the February to July 1912 issues of the all-story pulp magazine. The serialization was published as the novel A Princess of Mars in 1917. In that book, the physical appearance of Dejah Thoris was initially described in part as, save for her highly wrought ornaments, she was entirely naked, nor could any apparel have enhanced the beauty of her perfect and symmetrical figure. 10 more Mars books were published over the next several decades. This Mars series inspired a number of well-known science fiction writers, including Jack Vance, Ray Bradbury, Arthur C. Clarke, Robert A. Heinlein, and John Norman. The series was also inspirational for many scientists in the fields of space exploration and the search for extraterrestrial life, including Carl Sagan, who read A Princess of Mars when he was a child. John Carter of Mars was a major influence on other science fiction tales and characters, including Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, Superman, Adam Strange, Dune, Star Wars, and Avatar, to name just a few. John Carter is immortal, remembers no childhood, and served in the American Civil War on the side of the Confederacy. The story starts with John Carter, a Civil War veteran, prospecting for gold in Arizona. To escape from hostile Apaches, he enters a cave, and subsequently, he is mysteriously teleported to Mars, also known as Barsoom. On Mars, with its lower gravity, he discovers that he is effectively much stronger than on Earth. For example, he can jump much higher. The setting for issue number 1 is as follows. John Carter, Warlord of Mars, returns in a new monthly series, officially authorized by Edgar Rice Burroughs, Inc. Superstar writer Ron Mars finally gets to pen the series he has always wanted to write, with amazing new art talent, Abhishek Matsuni joining him. Return to the exotic landscape of Barsoom, as John Carter has to save his adopted world, not to mention his beloved Dejah Thoris, from an enemy like no other he has ever faced. John Carter must truly become Warlord of Mars against an adversary who is every bit his equal on the savage red planet. An amazing new era for John Carter of Mars starts here. For issue number 2, alien invaders are on the verge of conquering all of Barsoom. Only one man stands between them and the planet's annihilation, John Carter, Warlord of Mars. But John is marooned deep in the Martian wastes, confronted by a savage white ape. Even if he survives, how will he return to the side of his beloved Dejah Thoris in time to save his adopted world? Ron Mars finally tackles the series he's always wanted to write, teaming with rising artistic star Abhishek Matsuni for the best Barsoom ever. For issue number 3, alien invaders have conquered John Carter's adopted world of Barsoom. John Carter endeavors to reach the occupied city of Helium, where his beloved Dejah Thoris is held captive by the invaders. But Dejah Thoris is no princess in peril, as she hatches a plot to escape from her captors and lead her people in bloody rebellion. Classic planetary adventure and tradition of Grand Master Edgar Rice Burroughs. For issue number 4, with John Carter lost and presumed dead in the Martian desert, his enemy's triumph is all but assured. But who is Captain Joshua Clark of Earth? And why does his hatred for John Carter know no bounds? As Dejah Thoris prays for her warlord's safe return, the shocking origin of John Carter's arch-enemy is finally revealed. Superstar writer Ron Mars and rising star artist Abhishek Matsuni continue their acclaimed official run. For issue number 5, John Carter has crossed the vast deserts of Mars to find his beloved Dejah Thoris. But have they been reunited only to die together? John's sworn enemy, Union officer Captain Joshua Clark, will not rest until the Warlord of Mars is dead. Writer Ron Mars continues his acclaimed run as Invaders of Mars builds towards its epic conclusion. For issue number 6, the battle for Barsoom reaches its climax as John Carter and the villainous Captain Joshua Clark face off in a winner-take-all duel to the death. But even if John Carter triumphs, will he be too late to save his beloved Dejah Thoris? The critically acclaimed relaunch by writer Ron Mars and artist Abhishek Matsuni reaches the end of its first arc and sets the stage for all the epic adventures to come. For issue number 7, John Carter and Dejah Thoris have survived the invasion of Mars, but rest and relaxation are not in their future. Marooned in the crumbling remains of an ancient city, John and Dejah are beset by mysterious enemies. When John is struck down, it falls to Dejah to protect her beloved and find some way to escape the certain death that stalks them. For issue number 8, John Carter and Dejah Thoris visit a remote Martian city where residents are being terrorized by a monstrous, murderous presence. Will the Warlord and Princess of Mars be able to solve the mystery, or will they be blamed for the brutal crimes? More masterful Martian adventures from writer Ron Morris and Eisner-nominated co-writer Ian Edginton, authorized by the Edgar Rice Burroughs estate. For issue number 9, John Carter and Dejah Thoris try to unravel a mystery in a lonely Martian village under attack by a mysterious killer. But even if they manage to gain the trust of the suspicious villagers, something far more deadly lurks in the shadows. It's a murder mystery, Martian style, from the minds of Ron Mars, the fan favorite cosmic writer of Green Lantern, and Ian Edginton. For issue number 10, It Ain't Easy Being Green. With John Carter and Dejah Thoris lost somewhere in the Martian wastes, Thark, chieftain Tarkus, takes it upon himself to search for his missing friends. Accompanied by the most fearsome of sidekicks in Woola, the shocking threat Tars uncovers in the desert sands is beyond even his warrior skills. Mighty Martian action in the tradition of creator Edgar Rice Burroughs. For issue number 11, John Carter and Dejah Thoris discover what may well be the key to repairing the dying atmosphere of Mars. But the long-lost technology of the White Martians is not only protected by deadly robots, it's also being sought by other agents who will stop at nothing to retrieve it. John and Dejah might well save Mars, but only if they can save themselves. The start of a 2-part story that could change Mars forever. For issue number 12, the fate of Mars hangs in the balance as John Carter and Dejah Thoris race to retrieve the planet's dying atmosphere. Standing in their way are killer robots, savage Tharks, and villains of all stripes. Will John and Dejah sacrifice themselves if it means saving their world? The first year of the series, official approved by Edgar Rice Burroughs' estate, roars to a conclusion. For issue number 13, experience Mars in all its barbaric glory as John Carter and Dejah Thoris continue their search for a way to preserve their dying world. But their journey may lead to certain death as a mysterious foe stalks their every move. Co-writers Ron Mars and Ian Edginton continue their run, joined by rising artistic star Ariel Metal. For issue number 14, John Carter and Dejah Thoris finally return to majestic Helium, but they find the city strangely deserted. John and Dejah must find what happened to its inhabitants, or suffer the same horrific fate. More amazing adventure in the tradition of Edgar Rice Burroughs by the team of Ron Mars, Ian Edginton, and Ariel Metal. In 2009, there was a direct-to-DVD movie titled Princess of Mars, with Antonio Sabato Jr. as John Carter and Tracy Lords as Dejah Thoris, made by American independent studio The Asylum. In 2012, there was a movie titled John Carter, with Taylor Kitsch as John Carter and Lynn Collins as Dejah Thoris, made by Disney. In the near future, do you want a new live-action movie made about John Carter and Dejah Thoris? And if so, do you have any actors that you want cast and as who? More videos like this one, short and longer, can be viewed at the Comic Excitement Convention Science Fiction playlist. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click the notifications bell.